In 1918, Lincoln Pictures inadvertently made movie history when they reached out to an unknown novelist from South Dakota, Oscar Micheaux. Micheaux was always a maverick. In 1905, while most blacks were moving to the cities, he settled among white homesteaders in South Dakota. He was determined to build a 1,000-acre ranch and hoped that other blacks would follow. As Micheaux would later write in his book, The Conquest, I turned my face westward with the spirit of Horace Greeley. The words, "Go west, young man, and grow up with the country," ringing in my ears. Some years later, a severe drought ended Micheaux's career as a rancher, but he used his experience as the basis for a series of novels. The self-taught rancher, now writer, published the books himself and personally sold them door to door.
No, he didn't only sell books to black people because the Homesteader was sold in South Dakota, and most of his neighbors were white in South Dakota. Micheaux was successful at promoting himself as a writer, and his books sold well.
Lincoln Pictures made a bid for the rights to one of Micheaux's novels, The Homesteader. Micheaux, with no previous experience, demanded the right to direct the film himself. Lincoln's owners called him an upstart, just a rough Negro who's got his hands on some cash. The deal fell through. But within a few months, Micheaux hired a cast, a crew, and a chauffeur who drove them from Chicago to the little town of Winner, South Dakota.
And I don't know what kind of a car it was, but the top was down. And these people were all in this car. And this is how they appeared. Now, I suppose they had all their gear in that car. I don't know. And kid-wise, I didn't have brains enough to even think about that, you know?
Micheaux and crew spent one day shooting location scenes on the Delphs family farm. The Homesteader, made in 1918, was the first feature-length race movie.
I remember them shooting the most from about like where you're shooting, because they stood between the windmill that stood just on the other side of that shed there and the barn.
People who were total strangers to you out here, and somebody came in with intelligence, somebody came in with an idea that at that time was way out there someplace. It wasn't a part of everyday life. Oh, my dad would eat this up.
Over the next 30 years, Oscar Micheaux would make more race movies than any other director.